What up everybody, Magpie Gaming here, bringing you another Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. So for this video, obviously we're going to talk about the loot boxes again. This is something that isn't going away, although it has started to die down a little bit. I'm sure EA is starting to breathe a little easier at the moment, but there's still a lot of debate going on about the loot boxes, and especially whether they are gambling or not. I think the vast majority of people that game are quite in agreement that they are gambling, and I think a lot of other people outside of gaming are in agreement that they are gambling when they hear how the system actually works. And one of the stances that I did want to know was where things here in the UK, where I was hearing from different parts of the world how they felt about them. Netherlands, Belgium, America, they all felt that it was gambling and something needed to be done about it. But here in the UK, I wondered what the actual official stance was. Now, here in the UK, the gambling laws are applied by the UK Gambling Commission, and those laws are set up by the UK government. So I was actually thinking of getting in touch with the Gambling Commission to find out what their stance on this was, but then it would already been done and they'd put out a blog post, an official blog post from a guy that works for them. And this was a guy called Tim Miller. He is the Executive Director of the UK Gambling Commission, and there was a lot of news articles came out regarding his blog post, and I think a lot of the titles were misleading for some places. A lot of people were just simply not reading the article and were commenting and saying that it was a load of crap and they wasn't going to do anything and their hands were tied, and they were saying it wasn't gambling. And obviously these people never actually went and read his blog post. So in his post he says that they are unable to give this a defining definition of whether it is gambling or not because the government hasn't looked at it. They said that they did a report in 2016 where they were looking at the potential risks to children and young people by loot boxes within gaming, but for them to actually intervene in the loot box controversy, there will need to be a change within UK law. And as I say, the UK law can only be set by the government. The Commission can't step in unless there is a law there to protect. So at the moment their hands are tied. I'm sure that they've all got personal opinions on whether these are gambling or not, but they don't want to bring their personal opinion in it. They can only give their official position, which is right now they can't view them as gambling. And one of the other things that is interesting what they say, and it's not something that's been said by many other countries that have been involved in this, and that is that they believe that it's more gambling if what you get from the loot box has a real world value. And we've seen things like that in the past with CSGO, where you were able to cash out the skins that you found, and these had real world money, and you could go to websites and basically gamble on these skins, and that's where they believe that the real problem lies. That is something that they would be able to step in with. So in the case of Battlefront 2, what they're saying in a roundabout way is they wouldn't be able to do much about it, but they do have concerns that the kind of gambling mechanic that would exist to facilitate selling things outside of the game is present within the game, and it is being aimed at younger people. Obviously it's a Star Wars game, it gets aimed at the younger generation, although everybody is welcome to play it and everybody enjoys it. But that kind of mechanic where you can buy a loot box, and if you don't get what you want to buy another one, that is there, and children are going to be exposed to that. So, and it's that kind of risk and reward thing that they want to try and quell within gaming. And they do believe that that is gambling. They do believe that that is a form of what could lead to a gambling addiction, and that isn't a good thing for young people to be exposed to. Now, as adults, the vast majority of us know when to stop if we was buying things like this within a game, but obviously kids and young people are as adverse with money and things like that as the rest of us are, as older people are. So, and that was something that the Commission wanted to look at, and they say that they are actively looking into it, and that's going to be something that they want to pursue in the future, but it would need a change in the law. But it's more regulation and not going at actual specific titles. They would rather look at something along the lines of what Australia is currently looking at, and that is basically just raising the age limit for these games so that minors and younger people aren't supposed to get hold of them. And I think that's the way that a lot of the world will go, actually regulating loot boxes within games. It's going to be a hard thing to do, it's going to be an unwelcome thing to do, because even though certain loot boxes within certain games do kind of break, I mean in Battlefront 2 you can buy stuff that, or you could buy stuff that allowed you to progress within the game, and that isn't a welcome thing. But I think if it's XP boosts and skins and things like that. I think we all enjoy those. Nobody has a real problem with those. It's nice to get something back for the gaming that you put in. So I wouldn't want loot boxes to go away completely, and I think regulating that is going to be an unhealthy thing for the gaming industry as a whole. But I just wanted to clear up where the UK Gambling Commission stands on this, because I think a lot of people have taken the story out of context. You know, that they probably would view it as gambling, but only if you could cash out your items from the game, such as you can with a lot of Steam games. You get rewards and things like that you can cash out for real world money, and there's no real age limit on being able to do that. So, but as I say, Australia are now looking at these. There isn't an official position come out from the Australian government, but certain individuals there, high-ranking individuals, have said that they want to look at this, and they want to look at raising the age limit for games that feature mechanics like this. France has asked for a report to be commissioned into what, whether or not it constitutes gambling. So obviously Belgium are another one that we're looking at it. They say that it is gambling. The Netherlands did as well. And there is currently a petition going on to remove the license from EA to do Star Wars content. Now, this was a license that was awarded to EA around 4 years ago. They've obviously brought out the 2 Battlefront games. There was another game from Visceral Studio which got shot down and closed. So, and I'll put a link to the petition below. As of me doing this video, it's got 35,772 signatures, and they basically list why they want them to lose the license. And I've said it in videos about this topic that they've had 2 chances to make a good Star Wars game, and both times they've fucked it up. So have a look at the petition, sign it if you want to, if you feel that way. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with the license. We did hear that executives at Disney did get in touch with them to find out what the hell was going on. They wasn't too happy with the image that they were putting out for Star Wars. It's a family-friendly universe, if you want to call it that, and EA were basically trying to milk it for everything it was worth. But like I've said, if you make a good game, it will sell and you'll make a lot of money. And you don't need to add all this bullshit on to make extra money. Just make a good game and people will buy it. What happened to those days? They seem to have vanished recently. But yeah, I'll put link to Tim Miller's blog and the one to the petition, so you can have a look for yourselves. And let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I don't think this story is going to go away anytime soon. Obviously, we're all waiting for EA to come out and say what they're going to do going forward. So far, there's been nothing from them. It has prompted changes to the progression system that they added into Need for Speed Payback. There were changes made to that because there were complaints about it being sort of pay to win as well. So seems like it might be something that they're going to try to slip into a lot of the games, but they might be backtracking a little now. But we'll have to wait and see what ultimately they do with Battlefront 2. I think that will set the precedent for what happens in the future. But they're definitely going to be looking at the legalities of what they're doing in different countries, because a lot of countries want the laws changing now and they want to clamp down on these things. So they need to be very careful about where they go from here. So yep, as I say, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.